In this podcast, we embark on a dynamic exploration of the human experience, weaving a tapestry of diverse voices, stories, and perspectives. I am your host, Lavinia Richards. Join us on a journey that transcends boundaries, fostering connection, empathy, and a deeper understanding of the rich mosaic that defines us all. Get ready to reflect, resonate, and embark on a transformative odyssey through the art of conversation.
Survival taught me to be strong. Healing taught me to be soft. We wear armor thinking it protects us, but sometimes it blocks love. It's safe now. You can put the sword down. What's up, beautiful people? How you doing? How you doing? I am your host, Lavinia Richards. Welcome to Verbal Mirrors Reflecting Understanding podcast. Today we are talking about unlearning survival and being able to choose softness after struggle. And to me, it doesn't matter whether you're male or you're female. We've learned to live in survival mode so much, right? That we forget to break the barrier. We forget to let people in, and it can really affect us. And I really wanted to talk about it because I didn't realize how I was in fight or flight mode most of my life. And I don't know if that's anybody else's story, but I found myself being strong for too long. And I don't know how many people can identify with that or whatever the situation may be. But for me, just being in fight or flight pretty much my whole young life, growing up, single parent home, my father left when I was younger. My mom, went through her thing or whatever, single parent, figuring it out her way, watching her go through a lot of things. I talk about my story a lot, the domestic violence. I talk about, me being a runaway. I ran away from home at 14 years old and never went back. So I've literally been on my own since I was 14. Being in juvenile, I went to juvenile, being a teen mother at 13 years old, going to juvenile, and then I went to a group home or foster home or whatever. It's a lot to my story, right? And so then after all of that, on top of that, then I ran away from home from 14 to 18. I never went back home. So that's where the domestic violence started and all of that, with my older two daughters, their father. And so I'm mentioning all of that because I want you to understand what I mean when I say survival. It was always survival. I got to survive. I got to make it. How can I go on? So on and so forth. And I was so busy with that tough exterior, right? I didn't even realize that I was really broken, right? I was really damaged goods because in my mind, I had to be the man and the woman. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't at the time have my dad there to really show me how I could, or how a woman was supposed to be treated by a man. You understand what I'm saying? All I was seeing basically is abusive relationships, and the men that I was seeing in my life, they were on drugs or whatever the situation may be. You know what I'm saying? So that taught me to just be tough all the time. I remember in one of my relationships, one of my exes, he was like, I don't know. He was like, you want to wear the pants and the skirt, right? And I'm mentioning that because so many of us, and of course, I'm going to talk about it from a woman's perspective, but men have been put in that position as well, especially growing up with fathers. Men don't cry, toughen up, this, that, and the other. So we by the time it's time to be loved on or whatever, and women can do it to their sons too. By the time it's time to be loved on, they don't know how to receive the love, right? Because you've been in survival mode and you so used to struggling and fighting and scraping. And that was my story. And I didn't realize that it was breaking me. It was honestly really killing me slowly inside, y'all, because you thinking like I'm a strong Black woman. I got this. I'm gonna do this. But it wasn't. It was breaking me down because I had no help. And so I didn't understand that that's hyper independence, and that is trauma in disguise. I was so dependent on self. No, I got it. No, you can't do it right. No, what you need, mama? What you need, daddy? What you need, so and so. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? I used to call myself, I don't know how many of you guys, and I repeat it so much because that's literally how I felt. But if you've ever watched Scandal, Olivia Pope on Scandal, they used to come on. She would always say it's handled. Right. And that's what I feel like my family was waiting for me to do, or certain friends or whatever were waiting for me to do. And it gave me pride and honor because I was strong, because I'm a fighter and I'm going until I got sick. Right. Until 2011, my health started to deteriorate, me being obese and all of the things. I really felt like I had, for lack of a better way to explain it, had some sort of mental breakdown. I couldn't drive. I walked with a cane. Like, people don't know my story. You see me in these outfits and I'm out and but it took a lot to get here, right? But it started, y'all, the reason why I went through all of that is because I didn't understand that hyper independence was a mechanism for survival. Don't let nobody in. People let you down. You've been running all your life. You've been fighting all your life. You've been handling everything all of your life. See, when I looked at my mom, I didn't see a weak woman. Even though she went through the things that she went through, she got out, she hustled, she did what she had to do, she worked, she took care of that house. You know what I'm saying? We were in a space and a place where we were comfortable. I didn't lack anything. But at the same time, on the other end of that, on the other spectrum of that, I'm watching her being broken from men breaking her down. And I'm watching her fight through that, right? I'm watching her try to struggle raising me and trying to pay bills. But then I'm watching her go to get assistance here and assistance there. So that's the fight survival, right? And I'm not saying that it was a wrong thing or a bad thing. She taught me how to make it, right? And that's a good thing that I knew how to make it, but that's all I knew, is how to survive. I didn't know how to soften up. I didn't know where to find that soft space for me to say, okay, now it's safe for me to love and let down my guard. I don't got to struggle no more. I don't got to scratch and fight and kick no more. I didn't know how to do that. And that only came approximately 3 years ago when I filed for my second divorce and went off by myself. Okay. So I started that healing journey. But y'all, I didn't know what not surviving looked like. I didn't know what not struggling looked like. I thought that was the way of the world. I thought that's how we did it. Being an African American, surviving, being a strong Black woman, it was too much. And I didn't understand that it was breaking me mentally and physically. So y'all, I got sick in 2011. And I couldn't drive. I walked with a cane. People had to take me to my doctor's appointments, all of these things. And that in and of itself broke me down to have to depend on somebody else. It was me. It was Lavinia, the strong woman, the go-getter, the fighter, the one that handles everything. Me need somebody? Oh my God, not me. Right? Because I'm the fighter. I always survive. But when I started healing, when I started going within, I learned that is not the way to keep living in survival mode. Having that skill set is good. Having that skill set is okay. It's a nice asset to have. But when it's all you depend on, you're not living. You're not living. I was not living. I was so busy being in defense mode. I was so busy worrying about who to help and how to help him and being superwoman that I let me down each and every time. I was hard. Men couldn't get in because it's like, no, you're going to hurt me. When you come from molestation and this, that, and the third, right? You're not trusting, right? You go through physical abuse and all of that from a spouse. You're not trusting. You watch your mama getting her butt whooped. You're not trusting. Your father leaves. You go through group homes, foster homes, this, that, and the other. See, people look at the exterior of you and they think that they know you. They don't know your survival. They don't know your story. They don't know what you've been through. They just look at you. Like I said, people go out. I used to have people not like me. Oh, she thinks she's cute. I do. But listen to this. It took me a long time to get here. Do you know that you don't think you cute when you getting your butt whooped? You don't think you cute when you getting drug up railroad tracks and getting your lips busted. That's not what you feeling on the inside. But I fought through that, right? I'm just trying to paint a picture so you understand, because it's a lot of people out there fighting through things, thinking that that's the way to be, thinking that that's how you survive, that's how you make it. No, it wasn't until I started healing those issues, recognizing that I had codependency issues, recognizing that I hadn't healed from the abuses, healed from the things that I saw my mother go through. I hadn't healed from my father leaving. You understand? I was just used to surviving and going. Oh, I'm going to fix it. I would have headaches, y'all, for 30 days straight, trying to survive, trying to have it, trying to hold it down, trying to be hard. And when my ex-husband said to me, he said, you want to wear the pants and the skirt? I did, because I didn't know any other way. I didn't know any other way outside of the way I was going, doing it the way I had always seen it. All of the women in my family was gun-toting women. So I'm like, I've had a gun since I was 18, right? I'm looking at these women, my aunties going down to people's houses, knocking on their door, whooping women at their house, in their yard. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not seeing all of this lovey-dovey, let me be soft, let me not see survival. I saw my grandmother getting whooped by my grandfather. So it was always trauma, always somebody fighting, right? And all I was trying to do was survive it over here, survive it over there. You know what I'm saying? My mother, God bless her, because I would never talk about my mom like she ain't nothing. Like, I love her. We'll fight a brick and drown water about her. But in her younger days, she had to figure it out too. She was figuring it out. She was in the streets, not like a prostitute, but a street hard woman. She was a gambler. Where was I? 5, 6, 7, 8 at the gambling houses. I'm around people, and I keep saying it, y'all, because it blows my mind. Tail light. You know, I'm around people like this, survival mode. I'm a kid. I'm looking around what they doing. They doing all these things. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm a kid. Survival. Then after you've been touched, your mind go a whole nother way. Because now, can I trust him? Can I trust her? Why is she moving like this? Then when you become a runaway, you in the streets. I'm in the streets. I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm staying at people's houses. I'm getting put out of people's houses because I'm a teenager, but I'm built. I done had a baby. You know what I'm saying? They dudes looking at me. I got to go. Where am I going? I don't know. It's just that type of stuff. Survival. Let me fight. So by the time I meet somebody, right, that even remotely wants to love me, I'm blocking all of that. Because I don't know how to be soft. I don't know how to choose softness after the struggle. I ain't never seen nobody be soft. Every woman in my family, you got to go hard. Women go get it. You got to get out here and get yours. Now, I love that. I'm not saying that was a bad thing, because it helped me be the strong, independent woman that I am. But it also made me be hardened, right? It was so much that I didn't know I needed to heal through. I wasn't aware that I was even like that. But when he said it, I'm like, right? I don't want to wear the pet, but then I'm like, I do, because it's all, I got it. I need to handle it. I was the single mother after my first divorce, right? So I had the kids. I had sole custody. I had to get them to daycare. So fight. And I know somebody out there can absolutely relate to what I'm talking about. It is not an easy feat, but I'm telling you now, you can put your sword down. You got to go in and you got to learn how to heal that. And that's what I wanted to tell you. Like, you got to practice being able to delegate. Like, I would never trust anybody to do certain things. Like, I had a daycare for like 9 years. Like, everything was me, from the bills to like, and that was the thing too, though, in the relationships, I had to be more masculine. So that caused me to fight more, because in my mind, how do I let my guard down with a man that I'm being harder in certain instances with holding down the household than him? If he is supposed to be the provider, why am I providing and taking care of the household? I didn't have room to be soft, right? I couldn't fall into my femininity. I had to rest more in my masculinity, because if I come to you and say XYZ is due, I'm looking at you like, hey, handle it. But if I got to depend on me all the time, what do I need you for? So yet again, now I'm hard, because now I'm looking at you. We looking at each other like, nigga, we both niggas in here. What's good? You know what I mean? And that
that is what I think too men don't understand. When a woman can't feel feminine around you, when I can't let my guard down around you, when I've got to take on the world by myself with you in the home, that don't even make sense. What we together for? Right? But that was still me not healed. And that's why I'm pointing out what I went through. But I also had to start learning that that couldn't keep on being my story. Me being sick from trying to be superwoman, trying to fight, trying to give everybody pieces of me when I was giving myself none of me. That couldn't keep going on. That hardness, that exterior, that making me feel like I needed to swing all the time, it became too much. Hence the reason I became sick. Hence the reason I couldn't drive. Hence the reason I would have headaches for 30 days, right? Hence the reason I was walking with a cane, going to therapy, XYZ, became disabled on all kind of medications, being a guinea pig for medications. And so I really started looking at my life. Now, back then, I didn't know I was depressed. I didn't know I had anxiety problems, and I was going through all of this. That fight or flight mode had really, my body was sick of it. My body was sick of it from being left at home as a child from whatever, 5, whatever, up until I honestly finally got this last divorce. My body was sick of fight or flight, and I didn't know it. And there are so many of us, our bodies are trying to tell us, hey, it's too much. Hey, slow down. Hey, go talk to somebody. Hey, go get some counseling. Hey, go to a psychiatrist. Whatever that looks like, get you a life coach. Go walking, go exercise. No, we keep on the swing. At some point, I realized that I had to deal with the inner issues. I had to deal with all of that stuff I told you about, all of the things that helped develop me, all of the things that made me the woman that I am today, right? So looking at that, I was tired of being sick. I was tired of having headaches. I was tired of not being able to drive. I was so depressed, y'all, because again, I was the independent one. I was the super cape woman. I'm Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm Catwoman. I'm all of them wrapped up in one. Whoever it needed to be at the time, I'm her. But so much so that now I got hypertension, right? I'm doing all of these things because I'm trying to just keep fighting. I'm trying to show everybody, even in my marriage, this last marriage, trying to show everybody I'm a fighter. Because what would people think? Lavinia don't quit. Lavinia don't stop. What? She's going hard in the paint. She don't break. She bends. Proving it to who, though? That's what I had to start understanding. You're doing all this fighting for people who don't even give a damn about you. Right? You're doing all this swinging, and people could honestly care less. You understand what I'm saying? And so it got to a point, honestly, y'all, that I just had to start healing me. So it started with a book. I got this book called the Heal Your Headache Diet book. I got it off of Amazon. I don't know who it's by, y'all, but it's the Heal Your Headache Diet. And I love all things natural, holistic. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not giving anybody any medical advice, but I'm talking about my healing. This is personal, right? This is Verbal Mirrors reflecting understanding. So we get an understanding of what other people go through, because somebody else out there is experiencing maybe something similar. And I need you to let your guard down, okay? So it starts with the healing with you. It ain't about everybody else. That's the first thing. And so I couldn't stand it. I'm going to the doctor. I'm taking medications to make me have more headaches, getting worse, right? I'm in the bed laying down. Y'all, I'm really serious. I would be crying, right? I would have, I'm a hairstylist. So I would put weave in my hair or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Get my hair done. Honey, I would be up at 3 a.m, ripping that stuff out my head. So anyway, I got the Heal Your Headache Diet book on Amazon, and I started reading it, and you can get it, but it just talks about various medications that we take that can cause rebound headaches and so forth. And I started doing those things, removing certain things from my diet as it suggested, and started where I no longer needed those medications. So it kind of started from there. But that was the physical start, right, of healing myself. But the spiritual and mental of healing my subconscious, that didn't start until 3 years ago, where I needed to understand who and what I was. I asked God to show me that, God, source, universe. And I started that journey. And I started seeing how much I had let myself down. I started seeing me not healing the little girl that I was still broken from the molestation. I was still broken from watching my mama. I was still broken from being a runaway. I was still broken from being physically abused. I was still broken, right? The beauty was that I had enough courage, I guess, if you will, because it takes a lot of courage to go within and heal. So I had enough courage to decide that living was no longer conducive for me. I had enough courage and strength to say, you know what, I need something better. And so I opted to do something better. So I started going within. I started doing meditations. I started doing I did counseling prior to. I think I was past that. Not to say that I'm above counseling. I'm just saying I had been to psychiatrists. I had been to counselors. I had been to a life coach. All of the things, mediators, blah, blah, blah. And all of them would say the same thing. I just need to find a space to heal. I never found that space until I went through this last divorce. And so in that, I started, y'all, walking. I started praying more. I started practicing receiving help and rest. I started learning how to say, you know what, it's okay if I don't do it. You know, when you are in a relationship, especially being married, you want to make sure that the household, well, at least I did, you know, I wanted to make sure that my household was taken care of, meaning, you know, back then, if, you know, my ex-husband, when we were married, I don't want you to come home and wonder what we're going to eat, right? You shouldn't come home and need clothes clean and all of those things, right? And during all of that, I'm going to school and I'm getting degrees and, you know, becoming ordained and all of the things. And losing me taught me to value me more. Losing me, being hard, fighting, and then finally getting in a space and a place where I had a moment to breathe just for me. I had never been here before. I've never lived by myself. I was either living with my parents or, again, in group homes, foster homes, whatever the situation was, you know. So to have a space and place to breathe, finally, 3 years ago when I, you know, left my ex-husband and decided it was completely over or whatever, and I got in my home, my apartment, started over. I left my home, everything. I left everything, y'all. And I finally got a space to really ask myself what I wanted, because I never had the chance to do that because I was so busy looking out for everybody else. My mom had gotten sick. You know, she had a couple of hemorrhagic strokes and she's a breast cancer survivor, so on and so forth. But I'm just saying, fight. I'm her only child. So all of these things were instilled in me, just going, swinging. So I had never had the opportunity to just look out for me. I didn't know what that looked like. So when I got in this apartment and I started seeing that I can have peace, I can do things the way I wanted to do them. I didn't have to finally, for once in my entire life, I didn't have to put anybody else before me and see what they wanted. I didn't have to see if it would be okay. I didn't have to compromise. That I can actually exhale, right? And just breathe. That was so powerful for me that I wanted more of it. I had never been here before. I had never experienced a chance to breathe. Nobody calling me, nobody needing me, nobody desiring me and wanting a piece of me all the time. And it started feeling good. So I could hear more. I could feel more. Less of other people, more of me, right? And so I started practicing receiving that help because I was able to start hearing and understanding who was good for me, what was good for me, what I liked, what I didn't like, that I no longer had to sacrifice, that I no longer had to self-sabotage, that it was okay to rest in my femininity. It was okay to be in my soft girl era. Why though? Because I started to heal. I healed those codependency issues, the brokenness of me choosing broken men because I was broken, thinking trauma bond love was the way to go, right? Thinking if I chased, because I was a chaser, not so much that I chased men, I chased the relationship. I chased the let's try to make it as perfect as possible because everybody leaves me. So I gotta right? My dad left, my mom left, XYZ, XYZ. And that shapes you, and we don't know it. We be thinking we out here living our most best and blessed lives, but we be broken. And I was broken. I thought I had it all together up under those little clothes and little updos and the hairstyles and the shoes and all of that. I really thought I had it together, but I was broken. I was broken because I wasn't healed. I was broken because I didn't know how to let go. I was holding on to all the old traumas, all the old hurts, and it taught me to be tough. It taught me to have tough exterior and rough and not let people in and not let my guards down and not heal and not talk to that little girl who was abused and who felt abandoned, right? But when I got here, I started being able to understand through that healing that strength is softness. Strength is softness. You just have to find, see, I was so busy going toe to toe with men who couldn't handle me because they were broken themselves, because a real man can handle a strong alpha female, but also an alpha female has to be able to handle a strong alpha male. You shouldn't collide, like the halves should balance each other, right? But I was so busy having to fight for everything that it made this wall be up that I didn't know how to delegate. I didn't know how to be soft because I had not ran into anybody that had allowed me to be in my soft girl era until I got by myself. And then I allowed me to be in my soft girl era because I allowed myself to heal. And so strength is in softness. I don't have to kick, scream, yell, fight, swing so much anymore. I can sit, I can be soft, I don't have to be rigid. I don't have to fear everything around me, right? It is such a beautiful feeling, y'all. Do some things though. Practice receiving the help is what I said. So help could look like counseling. Help could look like meditation. Help could look like you and a bestie just chopping it up, sipping you some wine, relaxing and just letting it go. And then, right? Help can look like you going to the beach, just praying and releasing it in the water and the elements. Help could look like you going to the gym, exercising, doing things for your body, healing yourself, right? Help could look like so many things. It's a inside job. That's what I want you to remember. It has nothing to do with what other people think you should do. And that was the biggest thing for me. That's what the real healing was. Understanding that it didn't matter who else thought what about me. That was my problem in the first place. I was so busy trying to worry about everybody else, trying to please everybody else, trying to be superwoman for everybody else, that I fell by the wayside. But when I chose me, when I chose my healing, when I chose to heal the little girl, when I chose to decide to say no, no feels good. And I didn't have to yell to say it. Oh my God. Lavinia, can you so and so? No, baby, I can't do that. Honey, that used to not be me. Well, we're not going to give it to you. Oh, yes, you are, because I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to go. No, I'm still feisty, but I can fight a different way. I don't have to keep swinging so hard. I don't have to show up for every fight. I don't have to attend every battle that somebody tries to set for me, right? Every trap that is set for me, I don't have to walk into it. And I had to learn that. It's okay to let people go. It's okay to let things go that no longer serve you. That's part of the softness. You fight for things. You so busy being hard that you don't even know that the things you fighting for is shit that you should have been let go of. I was fighting for that marriage, y'all. I was, because the black family and the this, that, and true enough, I wanted that. But he wasn't the one. We went as far as we could go. Be okay with that. Quit fighting for things that no longer serve you. Struggle is not okay. You don't have to struggle and fight for nonsense, for toxicity. Stop struggling and fighting for things that don't serve you. All of those things that I was fighting for and kicking for and screaming for didn't even serve me. Abuse, verbally, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it is, it wasn't worth fighting for. But I am. You are. That's my word to somebody. Learn how to delegate too. When you get your corner people, not your circle people. Many people will come in the circle because they can infiltrate it. But I'm talking about your corner people. And I always talk about that. I don't give a damn how many people come in the circle. My corner people got my back. And guess what? It starts from the point. I talk about it all the time because they can see everything from the point out. They see they got my back, my side, and my front. Circle, anybody can come in because all of our backs are turned. I don't need circle people. I need corner people. When you get them, then you learn who you can delegate to. Leverage your network and have a hell of a network to leverage. If both of y'all broke, or both of y'all uneducated, or both of y'all are broken, who's going to help who? Right? It's okay to heal, and it's okay to leave people behind. I'm sorry to say it. I know we grew up, and that's Pookie Nam. We grew up off of Crenshaw. And I'm sorry, but it's okay to grow up and mature. That's what healing looks like. Because I started learning once I could heal and understand what my hurts were, what my flaws were, what the things were that I needed to resolve within myself. Because again, remember I said healing is an inside job. God, that's when I found peace. I was so busy doing it for everybody else. But when I started pouring my love into me, when I started giving myself all that I was giving to everybody else, I started winning. I started feeling good. Headaches stopped. I started naturally healing myself, right? So all those medications, those totes, we needed to discard those. We didn't need all of that, right? And it was all because I was willing to let my guard down. Understand that all of that fighting that I was doing for other people had nothing to do with me. That I no longer had to hold my sword up, slicing and dicing people. I can pull it out, but I don't need it out every single moment of my life. And learned that I can feel good as a woman. Learned that I can stand in my truth and my power and be soft, right? And still invite in and welcome in love. That I'm not a victim of my circumstance, that I deserve love, unconditional love in all facets, right? And that I don't have to settle, that I don't have to be a superhero for everybody. And that the first person I need to save is me. Once I did that, baby, once that healing came, I don't gotta fight like that now. Yeah, anybody know me? No, I will pop off if I have to. And that's simply just standing up for me and what I believe in. But me showing up to every battle, to every circumstance, so-and-so said this and so-and-so don't like you. I don't even see them people. I don't even see who are they? I'm so serious. Those things used to, when I was vibrating so low, when I was in survival mode, when I was scraping and scratching and fighting just like everybody else in my circle, when I was dealing with the unhealed people just like me. And I'm not saying I'm so healed. You always healing from something. Y'all know how I feel about that. But I'm not broken from those situations anymore. And that was pivotal for me. Right? It is imperative to go within. So y'all know me. The takeaway today, all right, is strength is in softness. Even men. I know you get your queens and you love on them and this, that, and the other. And yes, we love masculinity. I can't talk. Masculinity. We love it. I love me a nice, strong man. You know what I'm saying? I love a man that carries himself well. I love all of that. But I also love a man that knows how to show his soft side. That knows how to not be feminine, but knows, because we all have masculine and feminine. And some of us rest too much in one or the other. The same way women can be over masculine, men can be over masculine. The same way women can be over feminine and rest in that. You know what I'm saying? Men can do the same thing. Women need to have a space that we can feel feminine. We need to know that we can rest in you and trust you. That when we're with you, and not just about no fighting, just feel comfortable knowing you got us, right? But sometimes you so hard, you know, I'm the man, I'm the and the male chauvinist and this. No, we want you to hold us down. That's sexy. But we also want you to be intelligent. And we also want you to have a soft space to show us that it's okay for us to be soft. But you're still man enough and masculine enough to hold us in your arms and let us know, baby, I got you, right? So strength is in softness. My affirmation for today is I deserve ease. I am safe in softness. I deserve ease. I am safe in softness. Okay. And then my call to action, y'all know I try to leave you with a call to action every time in your journal. I want you to write the question to yourself: where am I still fighting battles that need ended? Where am I still fighting battles that need ended? And make sure that you answer that question truthfully and honestly, because it's you against you, not anybody else, right? And once you figure that out, figure out how to take some of those things that I said, the walking, the meditation, if you need to go talk to somebody, the counseling, the best friend, whatever it is, right? And heal it. It's okay to be soft. You don't have to stay in struggle and survival mode anymore. It's okay to let your guard down and let some love in, let some healing in, let some light in, okay? You're not a victim of your circumstances anymore. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate you. Thank you for rocking it out with me. I decided to go live today. I hadn't been on in a minute. Didn't really know, honestly, how to go live on here because I've been off for so long, but I'm just glad I wanted to test it out, see how it was. We will start having guests on, but again, until then, I got a lot of life, that in me, and life story, shall I say, or history or experience, as I'm sure many of you do, that I have to share. And if you're interested in sharing your story, you can always message me and let me know, because I will be glad to have you on the show. Once again, please like, share, follow, subscribe. You can find us on Spotify.com. We're on iHeart.com, music, Amazon.com, Podchasers.com, Boomplay.com, Podbean.com. I want you to follow me, if you can, at Verbal Mirrors Reflecting Understanding.podbean.com. We are also on YouTube as well, youtube.com at Verbal Mirrors RU Podcast. So follow us on all social media platforms. Share this with a friend, somebody who needs to hear it. Just understand that, you are not a victim of your circumstance, and we're going to unlearn survival, and we're going to choose softness after struggle. I greatly appreciate all of you. Listen, you already know our great sponsors, all right? Empress Ascendant 777 custom artwork. You can go to Empress Ascendant 777 ca.square.site, and you can order some beautiful artwork from Empress Ascendants. And then also, you also know we have our tea people, right? Who loves the natural. Physician Heal Thyself, the Art of Tea and Holistic Healing LLC. So listen, I love you guys. Again, please like, share, follow, subscribe. Follow us on all social media platforms. And don't forget to make sure that you do the inner healing, the inner work. Do the takeaway, right? Remember the takeaway. Strength is in softness. The affirmation, I deserve ease. I am safe in softness. And the call to action, journal. Where am I still fighting battles that need ended? Thank you so much. I appreciate you rocking it out with me. And until next time, talk to you later. Bye.
As we wrap up another episode of Verbal Mirrors Reflecting Understanding, we encourage you to carry the reflection sparked here into your daily interactions. Let the echoes of diverse perspective guide your journey towards greater empathy and connection. Thank you for being a part of our dialogue. Until next time, may your mirrors of understanding continue to reflect a world filled with compassion and unity.